Hi, everyone. Happy New Year. Happy 2025 each and every one of you. This is the Shawn1113 podcast show. I'm your host, Shawn1113. Thank you for joining me for the entire year 2024. And I got to tell you, 2024 was something else that will probably not be forgotten for quite some time, even after we're well into 2025. There was so much this year, so much in 24. Um, a lot of it was crazy. A lot of it in sports was crazy as well. Excuse me. And now I'm looking forward to 2025, one way or the other. If you love this content, love and rate this content a 5 star, and whatever platform you may be, it will be the Shawn1113 podcast show, and we appreciate your listening to it in advance, something like that. Anyway, let's get back to the NFL. First of all, before we even get to that, I want to make my condolences to two men. Jimmy Carter, former President Jimmy Carter, President Jimmy Carter, um, was a terrific president after he office more than he was president, but that's my opinion. And he did a lot of great things after he was president. So I salute you, sir, and rest in peace, sir. And then one also Greg Gumbel, very versatile broadcaster. That I mean, you'll never forget his voice because it was so distinct, even from his brother. Actually, he did a whole lot of things, a whole lot of sports, and his voice won't be forgotten anytime, any given time. So, R.I.P. to Greg Gumbel, never be forgotten. Very versatile broadcaster. That's probably, in my opinion, I take away from that. Now let's get back to the current stuff. NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, NHL. And by the way, before we even get to that, also, um, can I can I say something? Can I put an opinion here? I don't want to hear the NBA. The NBA players should be the last group of people to bitch and complain about their product. You've done everything to destroy the product. Okay, Adam Silver, LeBron James. It's like 3 point. It's like 3 point city. You see flashy dunks, you see great plays, which used to be the hallmark. And don't get me wrong, Steph Curry was the engineer on that, but too many NBA players put threes up for whatever reason. Honestly, think that it is. So when the NFL on Netflix, no less, Netflix has 24 million people, and the NBA on Christmas Day had their 5 games. It is combined almost 24, 25 million. That's not a good thing. But they want to bitch and moan about their product on Christmas Day. Again, the NBA should be the last place. The last NBA players in general should be the last group of people. Again, that shouldn't bitch about should they've lost their product. Let's put it like that. They completely lost their product to the National Football League. Because once the NFL, because people will watch people look as as much as NFL criticized and rightfully so in certain things, people want to watch football and college football now, no matter where it is. And you can't. And if your product, and it tells you how bad the NBA product is, people will watch football any way they can, even if it's on Netflix, even if it's on streaming, versus the NBA that was on linear television and cable, and you still couldn't get it, and the NBA still couldn't get it done. Whose fault is that? Yeah, I'll blame Adam Silver. I'll blame LeBron James and any other NBA player for that matter. Your product is trash. your product has become a one-dimensional trash. And if you're going to get that back pretty soon, no. And the NFL right now owns Christmas Day. They could have put college football on Christmas Day and the same result would happen. Simple as that. Now, for the NFL picks. Now, last week I made college picks. If you want to go back to the next episode, do that. Now, let's go to week 18 of the NFL picks. Shawn Steele's NFL picks, week 18. Here we go. Saturday, Cleveland and Baltimore. Picking Baltimore. And it's going to be in January 2025 already when it comes out. I think it's January 4th. Yes, January 4th. Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, a big game. They're picking Cincinnati. They'll probably won't make the playoffs, but I'm gonna pick Cincinnati. Pittsburgh's kind of a free fall, though. That's the problem with Pittsburgh. Carolina and Atlanta. I'm picking Atlanta. Houston and Tennessee. Houston to get some momentum for the playoffs. New York Giants and Philadelphia. I'm going to pick Philadelphia here. I think Saquon might break the record. I don't know how much Saquon they're going to have Saquon play. Barkley play that game. He might run the NFL record. And if he gets the NFL record, he's going to be the MVP of the league. Simple as that. Instead of Josh Allen's Dak Jackson. You break Eric Dickerson's record, that's it. Barkley will win it. So we'll see. But I'm picking Philadelphia over New York Giants. Jacksonville, Indianapolis, picking Indianapolis. Washington, congratulations them for making the playoffs against Dallas. I'm going to pick Dallas because I think Washington will play a couple of series and then that's it. Chicago and Green Bay, picking Green Bay. New Orleans and Tampa Bay, picking Tampa Bay. Buffalo and New England, picking Buffalo. LA Chargers, Las Vegas, picking Las Vegas. Because remember, if you're in the playoffs, you're not going to. If some of these teams are going to be in the playoffs and they can't bulk themselves up, they're going to put their starters out. San Francisco and Arizona for pretty much pride, picking Arizona. Kansas City and Denver, a huge game for Denver. I think Denver will win that game. I'm hoping as a Miami fan they don't, but But Kansas City already wrapped up the number one seed in the AFC, and there is no doubt in my mind. Do they really want to get their robbers in the playoffs? I don't know, but I don't know, man. But I'm picking Denver nevertheless. Seattle and the LA Rams. I'm picking Seattle. Miami, New York Jets, picking Miami. And then the biggest Sunday night game I've seen in a while, Minnesota and Detroit. Right now, I'm going to have to pick Minnesota until otherwise, in my opinion. And then when I look at the NFL rankings after week 17, Kansas City number 1, Minnesota 2, Philadelphia 3, Buffalo 4, Detroit 5, Baltimore 6, Washington 7, the Los Angeles Rams 8, 9 Tampa Bay, and 10 Cincinnati, depending on who you ask. That's a hard. So that's my top 10 for the season. I'm going to look at the NHL and NBA standings anyway. At the end of 2024 and see what happened as we get to 2025. Give me 1 second. With that, Toronto in the Eastern Conference. Let me see. In the Eastern Conference, a tie between Toronto and Florida. Bruins not far behind. Oh, New Jersey in the East, Washington and Carolina. And then Toronto, Florida, Boston, and Tampa Bay in the Eastern Conference there. In the West, right now, Winnipeg and Las Vegas, Minnesota, LA Kings, Edmonton, starting to go around Colorado, Dallas. Long way to go in the NHL on that. And then I look at the NBA for 1 second. For 1 second in the East right now. As it stands right now, the number one team in the East is definitely Cleveland at the moment, Boston, New York Knicks, Orlando. Worst team is definitely the Washington Wizards at this point. Then I look at the West. Oklahoma City, Memphis, surprisingly. Houston, with their youth movement, is good. Donna's injury hurts them, but they're in fourth in the West. Lakers are in the middle of that. If you guys are, if you want to look at the Lakers, and then the Pelicans in the worst record in the league. I think they're the worst team in the league. And I also believe they're going to trade Zion Williamson at some point, in my opinion. I really believe Zion Williams is basically finished. They're gonna break that team up against Zion. We'll see what happens. Now on the English Premier League, Liverpool with a pretty sizable lead over Nottingham Forest by 8 points. Arsenal not far behind with a two, and Chelsea with a 2 point position cushion over Arsenal and Chelsea. Man City finally won a game for a change. Has 30. Bournemouth not far behind. Newcastle and Fulham, Aston Villa, Brighton, and then the bottom three: Leicester City, Ipswich Town, and Southampton in the Premier League. But although the Wolves and Everton are not that far behind, to be honest, that is English Premier League there, which I do follow, by the way, in world football. Now, with all that being said, enjoy the games, enjoy the college football games. Let me repeat the college football picks I've had in the semifinals. Again, Notre Dame and Georgia picking Notre Dame, Penn State and Boise State picking Penn State, Texas and Arizona picking Texas, and Oregon, Ohio State and Oregon will be a close. I mean, it was a good game when they played in Eugene, Oregon, but I think it's going to be Oregon in that one. So just want to repeat that what I said about those games. But like I said, I wish. So finally, this is the last podcast of the year, basically, in 2024. Some of you probably will listen to the 2025, wherever, when you may be listening to. And with that, that is the final podcast of 2024. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast throughout this year and 2024. And I'm definitely looking forward to 2025 with you. And please be safe. Have a healthy, happy, safe 2025. Please stay encouraged no matter what. And live your life as normal as possible in an abnormal world. Thank you so much and happy 2025.